Viridian, The Green Guide, by Clouds. My Head in the Clouds Not Coming Down. Read by Oakshadow 5. Chapter 93. Hospital. Summary. Recovery. 5 sighed heavily. Kid, I thought you said you didn't come here often. Denki leaned over as he started coughing again. This is a mental space. Why am I? Your brain still knows you drowned. 7 came up and started patting his back. And seriously, 5? The kid almost died. Can't you cut him a little slack? 5 rolled his eyes. Come on, it's just a little water. It was in his lungs. It was not just a little water, 7 said indignantly. I'm alive, right? Like, we definitely know if I was dead? Denki asked hesitantly. Because you guys are kinda like ghosts already, so if I died, would I just stay here, or would this disappear since this is my brain? The vestiges looked at each other for a long moment before 2 shrugged. No idea. We always get passed on before the hold is death, so we don't really know what happened, but we're fairly certain that you are currently alive. Denki took a deep breath. Okay, cool. Well, that was kinda intense. 5 snorted. What? You weren't expecting to be attacked by villains during class? You did well despite that. 8, All Might, smiled proudly. You're mastering 1 for all very quickly. Yeah, you are. 4 gave him a pat on the back. We were impressed when you figured out repulsion. You really sent that kid flying. Denki winced. I really hope he's alright. I'm gonna need to practice a lot more. I should hang out with Izuku later. I mean, I told him about the magnetism, but with school and everything, we haven't had time to experiment. I'm sure you have all sorts of ideas that'll help me control it better, though. When no one said anything, he looked up to see the vestiges having a sudden conversion through heavy looks. Guys, it's kinda my head. It's not really polite to keep me out of the loop. They exchanged another heavy look before one frowned slightly. How much are you planning on telling him about the attack? Denki thought for a moment. Well, I was planning on telling him about the repulsion, but I'm sure there's probably some things that the police will want me to keep to myself. Not that. Well, I mean, he's not even supposed to know about 1 for all, and you know how well that's working out. He was one of the reasons he was so hesitant to accept it, wasn't he? 6 asked. He's the one who told you about the risks of accepting. Denki chuckled awkwardly. Yeah, he's like super smart, especially about quirks and stuff. So I tried bringing it up as, like, a funny hypothetical, but he panicked and thought I was being targeted by villains. It was kinda hilarious once it all got cleared up. Yeah, well, the kid's got guts, 5 grinned. It takes some balls to take on 5, 2 growled harshly. Not our place. Let the kid figure it out himself. 5 had his hands up in surrender. Hey, I'm just saying it's pretty cool, alright? Guys, Denki waved. Again, no inside jokes in my head. Sorry, 7 smiled kindly. But Izuku's a good kid. I think you should trust him. I do, Denki said. Why wouldn't I? Because he's terrifying, 8 shivered. But he cares for you. And he knows what he's doing, 1 added. You've learned things from him about 1 for all that we would never have considered, even those of us who've been here since the beginning. So, basically, 4 shrugged. Just be sure to tell him everything. Denki tilted his head. Why do you guys like him so much? I mean, I'm glad you do. It's not a bad thing. I guess I'm just kinda curious. Let's just say that he's more than meets the eye, 6 said cryptically. So, when he comes to see you, don't leave anything out. Izuku was one of his first visitors when he woke up, and Denki immediately put on a fake pout. We could have had the whole cinematic dramatically blinks his eyes open and sees the best friend asleep in the uncomfortable plastic hospital chair, but no, you had to be boring and wait for the doctors. Izuku rolled his eyes. And your parents? Or did you forget about them? Meh, having your mom crochet at the foot of the bed isn't as dramatic, Denki shrugged. How are you? Izuku frowned. That's what I should be asking. I heard about the attack on the news, but when your mom said you were in the hospital... It wasn't that bad, Denki said. I just overused my quirk again. It's not a big deal. Izuku pinned him with a look. If it was just quirk overuse, you'd be in Recovery Girl's office. not the hospital. Try again. Denki rubbed the back of his neck awkwardly. Okay, so I might have been 10 feet underwater when I overdid. Izuku panicked. What? It's not a big deal, Denki said. I mean, okay, it's kinda a big deal, but the hero saved me. And before you say anything, I wasn't trying to go swimming or anything. But the villain said this guy with the warp quirk, and he was gonna kill All Might, so he couldn't just do nothing. But then he wanted me out of the way, so... So he warped you someplace that he wouldn't be a problem, Izuku finished. How do you even get yourself into these situations? There's not that many warp quirks, and I don't even know of a villain capable of warping, but obviously I just haven't heard of them. Oh yeah, Denki said. And the shadow people in my head, you know, the ones that came with my quirk, they really like you. Izuku blushed. They do? Denki nodded. Mm-hmm. They said you cared about me and that I could trust you, so I should just keep being honest with you. To tell the truth, I'm just relieved they're not mad at me for spilling the beans about One for All or anything, but having them approve of you is a nice bonus. Well, I guess if they were with All Might all the way into the quirk transfer, then they... Izuku's blush was starting to fade as he trailed off, which Denki thought was a shame, but after a few seconds he turned to look Denki in the eyes. Start at the beginning, before the villains showed up. Tell me everything. It's really nice of you to visit, Inko, the old hag said. Is Izuku coming later or not this time? He's actually already here, Auntie Inko gave a sad smile. But he's visiting one of Katsuki's classmates who he met a few months ago. He might drop by later, if there's time, but I think he has something this afternoon, so I don't know if he'll be able to make it. It was sweet of her to lie like that, so Izuku didn't have to see him without acknowledging all the reasons he wouldn't want to. Katsuki wished he hadn't ruined their friendship, but he'd have to talk to the Note eventually. Even if he didn't visit, Izuku would need to know about the Nomu and everything, and he needed to know that he couldn't take on this case alone. Even All Might and the rest of the heroes hadn't been able to take down the leaders, and they had tons of power if their ability to recruit grunts was any indication. There was a knock on the door before it was hesitantly pushed open, and Izuku peeked his head in. Mom? Auntie? Kachan? I've got the red room, right? Of course! His old hag immediately pulled Izuku bodily into a hug. How you been, Brad? I haven't seen you in a while. You're filled out. Izuku chuckled awkwardly and shrugged as he pulled away. Yeah, I, took up running and stuff. How are you? I'd be better if this idiot would stop giving me heart attacks. She cuffed Katsuki over the head. Seriously? I might as well move in from how often he ends up in the hospital. Hey! Katsuki fixed his hair and glared at her. You're acting like I tried to get villains to hurt me or something. Something about that made Izuku freeze for a split second, and Katsuki felt his stomach sink as some gears turned into his brain. They didn't have time to click into place, though, before Izuku started talking again. It has been a while since I've had a chance to catch up with Kachan, though, he said. I mean, now that we go to different schools, we don't run into each other anymore. Oh, that's an understatement. His old hag grinned and grabbed Auntie Inko by the hand. Come on, Inko, let's go get some dinner and let the boys catch up. Auntie looked to Izuku, and Katsuki felt like shit when he realized she was scared. Izuku, however, smiled encouragingly. Will you pick me up a soda? I'll come meet you if Kachan gets tired or something. Katsuki nodded. Yeah, I mean, you can bring me something caffeinated, just in case he bores me to sleep or something. Auntie hesitated for another long moment before nodding and following Katsuki's old hag out. Just text me if you need anything, baby, all right? Izuku nodded. I will. Izuku watched her leave and waited until the door was completely closed before turning back to Kachan. He looked good for someone who had just broken both his legs, but considering that he went to UA, Izuku supposed that they had Recovery Girl to thank for that. After a long moment, Kachan spoke up, his voice deadly serious. It was the villain factory. Izuku swallowed. I know. Kachan nodded. Dunsface already told you? I don't, who? Izuku backpedaled. He hadn't told Kachan about Denki, had he? Kachan scoffed. Even a blind guy could see you talk Kaminari how to fight, you damn nerd. You've got a unique way of fighting, so if you take away the electricity shit and give him a slingshot, anyone would think he was you. Plus, Auntie said you were visiting a friend, so yeah. Izuku winced. He hadn't really considered that Denki would pick up on his fighting style. He hadn't even realized he had a fighting style. He was just taking down villains and staying alive. If it was really that obvious, would the villains pick up on it? He'd thought he was helping him, but was he actually making him a target? How had he messed up so badly without even realizing it? Dunsface can take care of himself. Katja knocked him out of a spiral. Don't worry about him. What did he tell you about the attack? In general, or just about the villain factory? Izuku shook his head when Katja gave him a look. Sorry, villain factory, obviously. Just the monster with multiple quirks and the swarm of bees. Bees? Katja frowned. Didn't fight those, but then again, I was kinda busy fighting those bastards' failed experiment. The thing was brain-dead, Izuku. It was so fucking creepy. I just kept thinking that was how Ogawa could have ended up if things just... I should have been there, Izuku blurted out. I mean, this is my case. I've been fighting berserkers in villain factory experiments for months. I would have been able to... I should have been there. Yeah, you should have, Kachan agreed bluntly. Izuku felt his stomach sink. It was his fault that Kachan was here in the hospital. If he had just been better at being a vigilante and had caught the villains like he was supposed to, so many people wouldn't have gotten hurt. Kachan wouldn't have gotten his legs broken. Dinky wouldn't have almost drowned. I'm sorry. You could have helped us. Kachan scowled and gripped at the sheets. If you were just in the hero course, you would have been there to fight with us. I'm not saying nobody would have gotten hurt, because obviously, but you could have fought with us, Izuku. Why can't you just stop being stubborn and realize that being a hero is better than being a vigilante for the rest of your goddamn life? Izuku felt tears welling up in the corners of his eyes and pushed them back. You know why I can't do that, Kachan. No, Kachan said firmly. No, I really fucking don't. You're just as capable as anyone with a quirk, and I'm not gonna force you, unless the right to do that because of how much I've hurt you. But please, just get your head out of your ass already and let Eraserhead catch you. I can't do that, Kachan, Izuku sniffed. If Eraser caught me, do you really think that led me into the hero course? Even on the off chance that Eraser was okay with my everything and was willing to push for my acceptance, to put someone like me in the hero course, that have to get approval from the principal, the school board, probably even the hero commission. Even if I deserve to be a hero, which I don't, there's no way that many people are going to just be fine with a useless little quirkless kid joining the hero course. You're not useless, Kachan growled softly. I get that you don't want to get caught. I respect that, and I'm not gonna sabotage you or anything, like I would have back in middle school. But you've already proven yourself and... They heard voices out in the hallway, and Kachan froze. Izuku tilted his head. Are moms back already? I thought they'd be gone a little longer. Kachan's head snapped toward him. Get in the bathroom. Get in the... Izuku looked at him in confusion. What are you... Look, do you want to get caught? Kachan hissed. Aizawa's outside. Aizawa? Izuku relaxed slightly. That's your homeroom teacher, right? Why... Kachan was looking at him like he was an idiot. Didn't Dunsface tell you anything? Our homeroom teacher is Eraserhead. Ooh, Kachan and Izuku met in the hospital and talked about the USJ. And Eraserhead, or Aizawa, being outside and like coming in. It would be so funny if they weren't fast enough and Izuku would just stand there and they had to talk their way out of it. But anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed chapter 93 of Viridian the Green Guide, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!